Right.
Welcome inside Royal Arena. It is day 4 of the IIHF World Hockey Championship and our second game of the day on TSN and NHL Network, featuring Sweden and France, as Mika Zibanejad having a great tournament so far with 2 goals, looking for win number 3. Sweden starting off with a 5-0 victory over Belarus. Closer game against the Czech Republic. They won 3-2. Raquel leading the way offensively with 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. And starting in net for the first time in this tournament for Sweden, Anders Nilsson, 6'6", of the Vancouver Canucks. 3rd round pick of the Islanders back in 2009. And answering in net for France, Aronin Quiminier. We saw some mop-up duty in that opening game against Russia in his 6th World Championship. And Ronan Quiminier is the guy who lost 4-3 to Canada back in Prague 2015 on that superstar team led by Sidney Crosby. He made 39 saves and nearly pulled off an upset against Canada. And he's asked to do the same thing against the defending gold medalists as we're underway. Ekman-Larsson down low for Sweden, just a part of a dynamic back end on the Swedish side. Larsson in, backdoor, oh, what a shot and what a goal! As they strike early, So many weapons on this team, and Raquel cashing in 1-0.
Well, that didn't take very long for Sweden to get going. Raquel, the leading scorer for Sweden so far, finds a little quiet zone, and you can see the lost coverage. All three down low defenders focused on Janmark on the high roll, Ekman-Larsson, and nobody's paying attention to the most dangerous player, Raquel. And he recognizes, I gotta get this up in the air. So drop to one knee, get enough leverage to raise the puck over top of the pad of Ekman-Larsson. And Sweden gets off to a perfect start, 24 seconds, 1-0.
Well, he turned 25 a couple days ago, back on May 5th. He continues to celebrate his birthday over here in Copenhagen. Sweden's leading point getter, and not even in the opening minute of this hockey game. France in trouble, a turnover. As France, they're going to be in tough in this hockey game. As Beauvais drives it behind the net. Pettersson, the touch pass to Michael Backlund. Pettersson drops it off. John Klingberg slings that across to the far wall in front. And so many weapons as Gustav Nyquist drove it towards the net. Pettersson, first-round draft pick, and he dominated the SHL this year as a 19-year-old. Led points in the playoffs, regular season, won a championship in front as this line nearly made it 2-0 in the early stages. Nyquist, the backhand pass, finally picked off by Beauvais. And they'll relieve some pressure as Czechishvili fires it in and goes off for a change. John Klingberg had a fantastic year in the NHL with Dallas. Second amongst blue liners in points as Anders Nilsson makes the stop. And an early goal, and we talked about him, MJ, off the top of the broadcast, and we should not be surprised that he opens up the scoring.
Led the Anaheim Ducks in scoring this year, 69 points. And #1 right winger on Team Sweden. And yeah, I'll take that right there, base of my heel, and elevate it over top of Ekman-Larsson. He has an underrated shot. Slapper, whatever you want it to be, one-timer, he can really shoot it.
Jordan Perret drives out towards the net, all the way around to the near wall, and Roux fires it back in. Eric Gustafsson putting on the brakes as Päijärvi, who was picked up this season by the Ottawa Senators off waivers, wearing number 91 in this competition. Centering pass, and nice job as Päijärvi was looking to accept that, driving towards the net. It's broken up, goes into the corner, and France firing it right down on Anders Nilsson. Interesting story with his glove, MJ, you tell me.
Yeah, apparently he had to get his glove looked at, restitched a little bit smaller because it was violating IIHF rules in its size. Now, Anders Nilsson's a big man, but there are limits to how big the catching glove can be. He had to tighten his up a little bit for this tournament.
He was on the roster last year in that gold medal run for Sweden, didn't play. 6 NHL seasons now with the Canucks, and still yet to play in the NHL playoffs, so hoping to continue his year here and a deep run in this group with Sweden.
He got off to a good start with Vancouver this year, putting up some pretty good numbers early on, and slowed down as he went. And a welcome sight back on the bench. That's Peter Popovich returning to the Swedish bench. Had a procedure on his eye. Long-time NHL, long-time international coach. And a welcome sight back and feeling good behind the bench.
Well, you mentioned Nilsson in net. He's going to get a good look at the Canucks first rounder in Pettersson.
This could be a game where Pettersson is more effective, not as physical. France on the defensive side of things. Sweden should have the puck an awful lot. And that's the situation where Pettersson will thrive.
France moves it up ice, they'll dump it in. France actually, whether you call it resting some of their key players, but their lineup certainly has changed as Janil is out, Ovi2 not playing, Perrier, and Florian Hardy, who's a good netminder for France as well. So resting some of their troops as Mika Zibanejad accepts that drop pass. Raquel drives as he gets tied up by Teddy DaCosta, one of the DaCosta brothers. Stefan playing on the top line. Ekfoil Chips at it, ties up Raquel as Chekashvili gets it into neutral ice as French changing behind the play. Gustav Nyquist gets it back to John Klingberg. He stretches it up ice as Michael Backlund, he gets roughed up hard at the blue line. And there is Pettersson fighting for the puck. Elias Pettersson, number 40, a guy to watch as a 19-year-old. Played for the Vauquois Lakers in the SHL, so he led the regular season in scoring, but the playoffs in scoring. All this is a 19-year-old winning the championship, as him and the Swedes about to go on the power play.
And there's the high stick. Roy falling down, catches Pettersson on the carom, unintentional, but you have to be in control of your own stick. Right at the top of the helmet. And when we see Pettersson walking around the rink, we have a chance to say hello to him. He looks like a young man. He is very slight, thin, light, baby faced, but man, get him on the power play.
Right in front, tip job, and an early chance as Gustav Nyquist sent it right through the crease. Sweden 1 for 5 on the power play in this tournament. That shot kicked aside, as you could bet Kumenier is going to have a busy hockey game with the offensive defensemen from Sweden and the forwards led by Raquel firing on all cylinders. Up to the point, long shot, Gustafsson swallowed up by Kumenier.
Good save there by Kumenier coming across. Here's the first chance by Nyquist. He's trying to find Backlund on the back door, and just at the last second, touched by Gallet to tip it to the corner. That's a good recovery. Lead with the stick, understand where the target is going to be, and get that taken care of. Don't slash at the hands, go to where the puck's gonna go. Stop a surefire goal.
Janmark Zibanejad also with 2 goals in this tournament thus far for Sweden. As the face-off controlled, back to Gustafsson. Takes the one-timer. Pettersson loads up from his office. He likes to set up there in that near circle.
He likes short side over the glove on these one-timers. He can really shoot it.
Left-handed shot back up to Gustafsson. Did it 13 to go, and he didn't get good wood on that one as it misses wide. As you see, Gustav Nyquist tracking towards the front of the net. Gustafsson, Pettersson, as they continue to work it around. Another shot inside, backhand, and 2 nice saves, and then shoved into the net as Ronan Kumenier doing his best to keep it a 1-0 hockey game. As Clairot in a good battle there in the corner, physical play, and then another player dropped. McFoyle battling for it. Michael Backlund, the captain, proudly wearing the C for Sweden this year in Copenhagen. One-time shot, Pettersson fires, and Kumenier got a piece.
Short side shelf, he loves it.
Back at it, drag move, kicks it back up to the point. Lindholm up top. Pettersson down low, tipped and scores in front, the captain. Michael Backlund, power play goal, 2-0 Sweden.
That was about the 4th shot pass for a tip that this unit attempted on the power play. And Pettersson is magic with the puck on the power play. And watch him thread this needle. He's trying to find an angle to Backlund. Backlund just presents a target. And then it's on Pettersson to find a way. Head up the whole time. Right by the heel of Ekman-Larsson before Chekashvili can get back to the stick of Michael Backlund. For Backlund, he's got to get far enough away from the goaltender so as a left-handed shot, he can have access to the puck on top of the crease and then trust Pettersson on the pass. And that's always a good idea. You see his kind of vision as he sets up the captain for Sweden's 2nd of the game.
Michael Backlund, a Calgary first-round pick back in 2007 in his 4th World Championship for Sweden. And the captain has made it 2-0. And France better buckle up because it could get a whole lot worse. That shot from distance, Nilsson stopped it. Rebound in front, and Flurry was digging for it. If you want offense from France, Damien Fleury's one of those guys that might be able to produce. He's had a pretty good championship career, 17 goals in 57 career games for France. And one of the guys on the top line that can contribute, that backhand. Whistles right through the crease, back up top, Harvey. Working it down low for Ekman-Larsson, one of a few Larssons on this team. We'll keep you posted, there's a lot. Larsson, Alvin, Ekman-Larsson, Larsson. Who have I missed?
You got them all covered for now, yeah.
Okay. Sweden on the move. Elias Anderson fires, and another young talent on this team, a first-round draft pick. Anderson's another guy to watch. Tons of talent. Drafted by the Rangers 7th overall in 2017. And a penalty to come. Hand goes up. And another power play, and it could be a long game for France as Sweden goes back to the man advantage.
Number 8, France, 2 minutes for interference.
Year-old Hugo Gallet in the box for France, playing in Finland for the TPSU under-20 team. And you didn't like the call, Mike?
Tough one. He lost an edge and fell into the feet of the Swedish player trying to stay onside, but it was unintentional, and I probably would have wanted to let go. He just fell down in the wrong spot.
So another chance for Sweden to go back with a power play, already scoring early, a power play goal from Michael Backlund, the captain. Mika Zibanejad tried to bring it over the blue line. That's intercepted and fired up ice. Florian Doyer skating in his second world championship for France. Out there in a penalty killing role. Raquel leaves that for John Klingberg, and he's moving on up. Klingberg, always with that head up, looking to set things up. He'll sling it behind the net. Back up to the point. Klingberg. Back to the near circle. Janmark drops it off. Klingberg. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, the point man. Backdoor Klingberg in front, chip shot, and that was close as Raquel was looking for his second of the hockey game, and it's cleared down the ice.
Tough angle for Raquel there, who's facing almost away from the net to take that and one-time it in the middle of the slot. You get a sense of how that top three of Zibanejad, Ekman-Larsson, and Klingberg could snap it around.
67 points in 80 games for Klingberg this year in Dallas.
Second amongst all defensemen, one behind John Carlson of Washington.
He has really stepped up his game the last 2 years in the National Hockey League. Swung back up to the point. That's Gustafsson. One-time shot. Gustafsson loads up, and a bit of a scramble and a tense moment for Ronan Clemeunier, but he covers up. So pretty cool as you see Pettersson on the ice and looking for opportunities. So obviously Pettersson is a draft pick of the Vancouver Canucks, so Nilsson gets to watch him perform. And we talked about Elias Anderson earlier, as you see the goal there from Backlund. Playing with Mika Zibanejad on this team, so a chance for Mika to see a young guy coming up in Anderson, as the Rangers are obviously rebuilding. And they continue to work on this power play. Pettersson in his office, near circle, to the captain. Backlund swung back up to the point. Gustafsson fires, and that's tipped wide and into the corner. Pettersson, good job to dig it out. In front and fanning on it. Nyquist
Hooked off the puck. I think they're going to call. Beyond Paré.
So another opportunity for Sweden. Nyquist drawing that penalty. Gustafsson, nice move over the blue line. And he's just going to swing it to the, well, he wanted to actually make a pass regardless.
Yeah, I lost track of where everybody was. It's just France gets back to full strength. The guy steps out of the box. They take another penalty. But this is the reality. When you play in your own end, if you don't have the puck, you will take penalties. That's part of the strategy for teams trying to break down lesser opponents. That's the correct call. Got to stick right into the hands of Nyquist when he's about to release it. Can opener. And Sweden already just 9 minutes of the game heading to their third power play.
So Jordan Flurry, who plays in the Czech Extraliga, in the box in another power play. And Ekman-Larsson, Oliver Ekman-Larsson just comes out. So Sweden will restart with this man advantage, approaching midway point, and a turnover, a rare one. Shot from Flurry, and Anders Nilsson had to be sharp as Oliver Ekman-Larsson. A bit of a turnover there to a guy you don't want to turn it over to, Damien Flurry. If there's one guy that can score for France, it's him.
It is, and he's one of the guys where you notice his speed. The game is getting faster, offense takes pace. And DaCosta and Flurry are the 1-2 punch that France relies on to generate most of their offense. They were great in the game that they won over Belarus. And they'll try to see if they can get something done against a much tougher opponent in Sweden.
As Claro loses the draw, so Stefan DaCosta. Another turnover, in tight shot, just whistled wide as Douay. A couple of good looks, the best looks for France so far, shorthanded in this hockey game. I was going to say Teddy, his brother, wears 80, and Stefan wears 14. Minute 20 to go in this power play. As Mika Zibanejad moves it up ice. Raquel making moves in front. Raquel just couldn't finish. He was tied up just enough as Mika Zibanejad, and our storylines, Mike, off the top of the broadcast, those two finding chemistry.
Lots of passes in tight spaces.
Zibanejad throws it across, bouncing puck. Raquel behind the net. Backlund picks it up. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Pardon me, that's Zibanejad. He gets it down low. Mika Zibanejad picks it up. Zibanejad on the puck behind the net. Slings it back up top. 39 seconds to go in the man advantage. Gustafsson waiting up top. Lindholm fires, and that's deflected in front again. As Michael Backlund, he's setting up shop right in front of the net where he got his first goal, and he continues to work there. In front, backdoor pass, and Gustafsson streaking in. He just missed that top left-hand corner. 16 seconds remaining. Again, Gustafsson. Far circle shot. Nice stop in front. Guiminier doing all he can on this high-flying Swedish power play. 3 seconds remaining. Another rip. Stop. Rebound in front. Guiminier. Lovely job keeping it a 2-0 hockey game as Raquel, he's come to play here at Royal Arena. Welcome back to Royal Arena.
With all these penalties and power plays, a lot of people haven't played this game very much for the first 12 minutes. You're the third or fourth line for Sweden. You haven't seen the ice.
Anthony Reck starts things up ice for France. Drives to the net looking for a rebound, but Anders Nilsson makes the stop. So we've seen Magnus Hellberg the first few games. He got the shutout over Belarus. He pulled off that 3-2 win over the Czech Republic. And our first look at Anders Nilsson. What do you make of the goalies when it comes to Sweden? Because they have to be considered a threat again to defend the gold medal.
They are, and they'll need good goaltending to do it. Magnus Hellberg has actually looked very good through his first two games. He's also another big 6'5" goalie like Anders Nilsson is as well. Almost feels a bit more athletic than Nilsson. A little quicker if he has to go side to side. Both take up so much net when they block it. But when they have to get desperate, when they have to be an athlete, Hellberg seems a bit quicker.
Here's Pajärvi driving the net in front, bouncing puck. And a good job from France to clear it out as Ekman-Larsson was going in deep. Nice job from Flurry to knock it down. Fires high and off the net. And the one thing, not only in the entire championship so far, but especially with Sweden, the guys in the back end, they are not shy about jumping up into play.
No, they're definitely going to attack all the time, as is Magnus Pajärvi. Now, this guy's considered a bit of a grinder in the NHL. Check out that backhand toe drag to dance around row and attack the net. Great look at it there. Something that I could not do. Something that players of my generation generally did not do, but everybody who comes to the league now has those kind of handles.
You know, in 2010, he played as a 19-year-old for Sweden in this tournament, led his nation in scoring, was a 10th overall draft pick, Edmonton Oilers, and just it never seemed to work out that offensive threat as that shot just missed. Inside as Klingberg nearly found the back of the net. Lindholm fires in again. Humanier stops that.
Lindholm wants to get on the act with John Klingberg. Both are dynamic two-way defensemen. And Hampus Lindholm coming off a career year, 13 goals. Because he's such a good, that's the way to get up there, John. Sick ups.
That's awesome. Jump man.
Apparently that's a Swedish thing, because Victor Arvidsson has been doing that left and right in the playoffs with great success in front of Connor Hellebuck.
Well, there is a Michael Jordan in this tournament. It's not pronounced that way. So the jump man is here. It's Michael Jordan, but you know, sell some tickets.
It's in that kind of vertical just yet.
Plays whistle down. I think we got a penalty coming.
There's Anderson for a hook.
Offensive zone.
Anderson seems to get around a lot of stuff, doesn't he? Whether it's penalties or scrums or moments where the opponent's a little angry. That's more of a trip as his skates go into the back of Florian Dwyer. Look at their little tangle up on the skate. Not as much as anything knocks him down.
Anderson made news. He was the young guy who unfortunately devastated, won silver at the World Juniors in Buffalo and then tossed the medal over, and suspensions actually came down at this championship. Now they're not going to be suspended for this tournament. Apparently it's going to be ongoing. So
you said the key word there, young. It's a young man, kind of very disappointed. Don't think you can paint him with a bad brush for one moment.
Point shot tipped in front, and nice job by Nilsson to shut the door. Flurry. Oh, drag move. Flurry's in, trying to bring it to the forehand. And a little bit of the offensive gifts of Flurry as he had a pretty good look with a man advantage. Stefan DaCosta's back as he takes the bump, and Manavillon, best beard by far in the tournament, brings it over the blue line. Manavillon will slide it in. I got to ride in the elevator with him back in the hotel, and I was too shy to say how cool I thought his beard was, but it's yeah, in person, man, he's a big guy, and then that beard, it's beautiful.
You mentioned how dangerous Damien Flurry can be. Here's the first look. Cracked down in front of the net, can't track this down. The toe drag past Ekman-Larsson, who commits to the shot block. He's trying to take it far post, and that's a nice active stick right through the blue paint at Anders Nilsson, claiming it for his own territory. Knocks it off Damien Flurry.
He's played pro in France, Sweden, Switzerland, Finland, Germany, China. One of the busier passports of guys you'll find at this championship. And a staple, he loves representing his country. And he's back one more time as Gutig brings it over the blue line and fires it in with 1 minute to go in this man advantage. And if France can somehow keep it close for Dave Henderson's side, stay within one, grind it out, and you never know what can happen at these tournaments. You just never know. We mentioned Humanier, who took Canada to the brink, and that was a superstar team in Prague in 2015. And Canada only beat them by 1, so you just never know. Chekishvili picks that off over the blue line. He'll backhand it in deep. Racing in to try keep it in was Boivo. Gutig. Chekishvili. And it pops out in front, and Sweden able to move it out of the zone, led by Pajärvi. Pajärvi has it hop off his stick. Gutig picks it up with just 10 seconds remaining now in the power play. And under 6 minutes to go, in this first period. And a 2-0 advantage for Sweden. They come out hot out of the gates as Perret, a little bit of speed as he drives into the corner. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Sweden kills it off.
Delay very slow getting back to that bench after a big hit from De La Rose.
As that spun around to the far wall, picked up by Leclerc into neutral zone ice. And John Klingberg has it for Sweden. Pretty good start for the Swedes. Raquel with speed over the blue line. Here comes Raquel. Around the net, centers in front. And Zibanejad couldn't get there in time to try jam it in. Sent cross ice, back and forth passing, and eventually Douay brought it in, but brought it in offside. Just under 5 minutes to go in this opening period. Welcome back to Copenhagen. Over in Herning, Canada, 2-0 lead over Denmark. And Herning's the hometown of Freddie Andersen, Jannik Hansen, Frans Nilsson, all from that town, so a pretty big thrill. And Freddie not getting the start in net, though, for Denmark in that hockey game. And Canada off to a good start, led by Connor McDavid, who's wearing the C.
Getting a little rest for Freddie Andersen as Denmark's thinking about the quarterfinals over there as 3 powerhouse teams in the US, Finland, and Canada are kind of wide open below them. Denmark trying to make some noise and get to the quarterfinals in their home country.
Bailey and Ekblad, your goal scorers for Canada in that game. I'm excited for the quarterfinals. You know, you look at what you see over in that group, and Finland, Canada look very strong. Man, Sebastian Aho, is he a man on a mission?
And let's not forget the US beat Canada.
Yep.
So with Patrick Kane, Johnny Gaudreau, DeBrincat, the talent that the US has at their disposal, and Keith Kincaid.
As Rek with a chance, Nilsson comes out and alertly plays it to the captain Backlund, who nearly gave away to Flurry. Couple turnovers, and Chekashvili sends it to the far wall. Flurry, I think, offside, and he was, so they will blow it down. Quinn Hughes, a young defenseman, will likely be a first-round draft pick, a top 10 pick. And Jack Hughes, I just watched his brother play, and he will be the #1 overall pick coming up, not this year, but next year. He led the tournament for the United States in scoring as an underager. Last kid to do that in the tournament, Connor McDavid. In 2013 in Sochi, when Canada won the gold medal. The United States, though, Jack Hughes and company lost to Finland in the gold medal game. That was in Chelyabinsk. And Magnitogorsk, the co-host countries. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see how the quarterfinals shake out in this tournament.
Yeah, generally speaking, the top 2 seeds stay in their current city, and then 3 and 4 travel. So the Copenhagen 3 and 4 head to Herning. Herning 3 and 4 come to Copenhagen and cross over that way. Seems like there's 2, both Sweden and Russia are head of the class here in Copenhagen. Czechs behind them. The 3 hockey power nations in Finland, Canada, the US will really battle it out for the top 2 spots in Herning.
Pretty good crowds here for Sweden as well. We're about a 25-minute train ride from Malmö, Sweden. You take a cool train across the Öresund Bridge, which is one of the largest bridges in Europe. So every time the Tre Kronor, when Sweden plays, they're in the house, and there's jerseys everywhere. It's the beauty of the World Hockey Championship. You see, even after games, you know, your nation loses to another one They're outside, you hit the beer gardens, you say hi and you meet new people. Very friendly atmosphere. Shot from distance, no problem there from Nilsson. He handles that with under 3 minutes to go in this first period. Pace slowing down a little bit from the opening 5 minutes where Sweden came out on a mission, and obviously having time on the power play helps.
Also decreases the pace though. You lose the rhythm of the bench with all the power plays.
Larsson swings that across. That shot didn't get through from the other Larsson, Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Adam Larsson, defensive partners for this hockey game and for the tournament thus far. As that's chipped on the far wall by Guillaume Leclerc. And then eventually fired in to the right of Anders Nilsson. Nice job from Perret to get there, and then he gets knocked down, loses his stick. These Swedish defenders, they're physical. They're not shy at all. Obviously a lot of offensive upside, but not shy about laying the body. Leroux sends it up for Stefan da Costa. He'll chip it in behind the net. Under 2 minutes to play. Zibanejad takes the backhand pass, and here comes Janmark. A little bit of speed. He'll fire it in. Raquel on the move. Nearly picked that off as Humanier got tied up. Zibanejad behind the net, tries to dig it out. Raquel jamming side of the net as it had a weird bounce. Janmark was in the vicinity but couldn't poke it home.
You really have seen this game kind of drop in its pace because of the power play. So the skill guys are out there playing pretty stationary. Not a lot of contact, not a lot of emotion, very tactical. And they probably have to wait to reset at intermission. I don't think Sweden will love how they're playing this first period. They're going to go up to the intermission leading, but they've been pretty casual with their puck management.
Sweden finding the podium 7 in the last years. That's puck over glass. I think that is right over, so, or was it deflected?
No, straight
right
out.
over, yeah. So Chakashvili off to the box, and another power play for Sweden. And more tough luck here for Dave Henderson from Winnipeg, Manitoba. He's been head of the French national team since back in 2005.
Chakashvili looking back at the ice, that is all on him. That puck is flat as can be. He's trying to get it off the boards and out. He goes right underneath it. Janmark wasn't even that close. And I like this rule. A lot of people don't like the over the glass rule. I like it. It rewards making plays under duress.
Sweden controls Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Klingberg. They're up top on this power play. Down low is Raquel. Ekman-Larsson puts on the brakes. Klingberg doesn't like what he sees, so he'll spin away and get it down low. Raquel, little tip. Wanted Janmark. And that's chipped and kept in nicely, though, at the blue line. Klingberg has it, fires, nice stop, then hits the official. Goes behind the net, Janmark's on it. Back up to the point, swung across, John Klingberg. Ekman-Larsson loads up, and a nice glove stop there. Play continues behind the net. Dish down low. 20 seconds to go in the period, and a 2-0 advantage for Sweden. Bouncing puck, far circle. Raquel has it. Drops that off. That pass in front, oh, a nice job to pick that off in a defensive play, and it's set down the ice. As Douay picked it off, and they'll go off for a change, and that will do it for this opening 20 minutes. Fast-paced start as Anders Nilsson, perfect. As that man opened up the scoring. Intermission to come on TSN and the NHL Network.
The score after the first period, Team Sweden 2, Team France 0. Shots on goal in the first period, Team Sweden 12 and Team France 4.
Welcome back to Royal Arena. It is day 4 of the IIHF World Hockey Championship as Dave Henderson and his team from France down by 2, and Ricard Gronberg in his second year as head coach. He won the gold medal last year, took over for Par Martz, and now leads this side. It was not a busy period for Anders Nilsson, just 4 shots. He stopped all 4, and it could be a very busy night for Ronan Quimenier, who had 2 get by him. Goals by Raquel, Michael Backlund.
So all the power play time was the story of the first period. On both sides, Sweden drawing power play after power play, took a penalty themselves, and felt like a special teams practice during the first.
So a power play here for Sweden with 38 seconds to go as they start the second period. Fresh ice. The ice actually has been a storyline. Remember, we had 3 games in a day, back-to-back days, and for a while teams were actually practicing as well, so ice conditions were a factor, so they stopped that. So no pregame skates per se. Back up to Lindholm at the point as he swings it across. Gustafsson at the point, down low in front, backhand try. And there's Backlund already with a power play goal in this hockey game, looking for another with 4 seconds remaining. Lindholm has it. He sends it right across the ice for Pettersson. Power play comes to an end as Chekshvili is back out of the box. Michael Backlund chips it over for Gustav Nyquist. Pettersson in the corner. Backlund now behind the net. Back to Pettersson. Pettersson weaving, drops it off, drives towards the net. In front, Pettersson, little backhand at it. Pretty good chance, and finally France able to clear the zone.
2-man game between Pettersson and Backlund. Focus in on each other. I think everyone knew that Backlund was trying to find Pettersson on the back door.
Ricard Raquel, most dangerous player offensively for Sweden so far at this tournament. Came in leading with 6 points, and he obviously picked up a goal in scoring the first goal of this hockey game.
24 seconds in.
So we'll see if France can provide a push back. Stefan DaCosta up to Flurry. Picked off by Mika Zibanejad. The 25-year-old with the New York Rangers. What do you make of their rebuild in New York?
Well, they're kind of stuck in the middle right now because they got the goalie. And Henrik Lundqvist won't let them bottom out. He's too good. And so, similar to Montreal, you can't get down to the bottom 2-3 teams to get one of those top draft picks because your goaltender just keeps you in too many games. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Ekman-Larsson drives it in, loses his footing as he gets back up with the puck already stolen. And France and Teddy DaCosta moving it up ice is Guttig. Anthony Guttig driving into the corner. As Beauvais with him. But Sweden's so quick to pick it off and move it up ice as Ekman-Larsson will fire it in. Long shot from distance from Päivärinta, and he's got to hustle back. As the play continues, Sweden able to keep it in. All the way to the near wall. Nice job from Lindholm. Keep it in, fires, and hits his own player right in front. That was Päivärinta. And again, Päivärinta looks for that rebound. Pay the price when you go to the dirty areas, don't you?
When the puck comes right in the middle of your center core, there's only so many directions you can get your body to go, and Päivärinta was stuck. Could not get out of the way of that shot.
Here's Adrian Kempe, the LA Kings, centering pass to the far circle, swatted at, and no one could get a good scoring opportunity. Dropped off, and Wickstrand fires it high, and It'll be into the crowd for a whistle. What was the game we were watching? And it was, unfortunately, it was a shot. And the shot was about 6 feet off the net and just smoked their teammate. I forget the game. We've done so many now. But it's one of those funny plays where the guy just wound up, shot it, smoked his teammate behind the goal line about 8 feet away from the net.
It's a dangerous area.
At least that was in front of the net.
Around the front of the net.
Right, that's better. That was the right vicinity.
Can't get mad at the shooter if at least hits the net. Although as a forward, you do give it. You get to the bench, you're not afraid to give it to the defenseman if they buzz the tower up by your shoulders. You better pick a corner if you're going to shoot it that high and that hard.
Did you ever take one, chin, teeth? What was
No,
your worst?
you know what? I didn't wear a visor when I played. I didn't wear a mouth guard. And I sat in front of the net. I wasn't Ryan Smith or Thomas Holmstrom, but I was around the front of the net. And I don't know how I stayed out of the way of those shots. They come in so quickly. Tips and rebounds. Fortunately, no.
Shift out here from the fourth line is Everberg getting some ice time, as is Anderson, Kempe. As Wickstrand takes a bump. Michael Wickstrand, 7th round pick of the Senators way back in 2012. As Gustafsson has it to Wickstrand. He's going to chip it in.
And you see Everberg, you see Wickstrand, and you wonder who might get bumped out of the lineup if certain NHLers show up, if Forsberg and Ekholm show up. Names like that, probably Elias Anderson, the younger guys, those are the guys who probably do get sat down or maybe don't get to dress or play a regular shift if some high-end NHLers become available to Sweden.
But once you're given a card at this competition, you're in.
You're on the team.
You can't get the card back. Is that chance in sight? Driven towards the net, and one of the best looks from France. That was Guillaume Leclerc driving in, and the best save maybe this game from Nilsson.
Leclerc takes a bouncing puck from the top. Texier slings it towards the net. Now this puck's rolling hard. He wants to try to sweep it. He almost gets a double touch there off his heel, then onto the toe. Trying to beat Nilsson far side. When Nilsson gets set, his legs get flared. You're not going to beat him to the post. His legs are just too long, so you got to get it up.
Perret was pinned there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. A nice job to protect the lane as Pettersson walks in. Little backhand. So Michael Backlund. Gustav Nyquist swings it back up to the point. Long shot from the blue line. Didn't get through. Larsson in front. Shot. Stop. Rebound. Pettersson nearly jammed it in from the side of the net, but it stays out. Pettersson always buzzing around that net. He's exciting to watch. Back up to the point as Adam Larsson drops it off. He goes in deep. Gustav Nyquist circling as he goes behind the goal line. Over to Adam Larsson. Larsson wanted it back. Goes down low. Nyquist. Adam Larsson loads up. That shot didn't get through. A nice block, and Stefan DaCosta had it picked though. Nice job from Backlund as he stole it at least briefly, and then it comes into neutral ice territory, and France changing behind the play. And Nyquist, his teammates are changing too as he backhands it in. And backhands it out of play, brought in offside.
And a good offensive zone shift from Backlund's line. Shot, and Pettersson tries to kind of throw this one back towards the net. A glove pass right there, but the cycle continued. And another bouncing puck. Backlund chops it in there. And it ends up with a big one-timer from Adam Larsson. And he dropped his lower hand on that slap shot about 2 feet only off the ice.
Look out, turnover the other way as Damien Flurry driving towards the net. Couldn't get the pass. It comes up to Kevin Hecfoyle. Oh, a nice move. Hecfoyle fires tipped and just wide as Anthony Gutierrez was parked in front. Flurry below the goal line. Gutierrez tried to drive it towards the net. He takes a big bump as he's knocked home by Lindholm. He starts the play up ice out of the reach and in the skates of Zibanejad, so Sweden resets. And another turnover and just a step offside as Anthony Reck was coming in with speed but unable to convert. always tough for France at these World Hockey Championships if they don't have their best players, and a few of them back in North America. As Pierre-Edouard Bellemare making the next step. Obviously, what a season he's having. Stefan DaCosta and actually Bellemare were tied with 34 points to begin this championship all time, and Stefan has overtaken that. And then Antoine Roussel, a guy, I think contract reasons, not over here.
And the other defenseman, Johan Ovi2, played a game in this tournament, but clearly they're nicked up or they're resting a whole bunch of guys for games upcoming, because after this game, Sweden, they have 2 days off, and then if they have visions of making the quarterfinals, it's the next game on Thursday versus Slovakia. If they're able to somehow win that game, they could put themselves in a good spot to make the quarterfinals. So if that's why the goaltender Florian Hardy's not playing, and OV2 and Janil, then maybe those guys are just making sure that they're ready for the game they really have to win and have a chance of winning.
As Beauvue lets it go, Laurent Beauvue with a good opportunity, but he whistled it wide. Laurent Beauvais was not in the lineup for their last game, but Beauvais getting some time here, as you mentioned, all the guys that are held out, so he gets an opportunity.
But France isn't even dressing a full lineup. You're allowed to dress 20 skaters for the game, plus 2 goaltenders. They're only dressing 19 skaters, so Beauvais gets the call to go in, but they're still shorthanded by 1.
Thierry got it in deep for France. It's chipped out and moved up very quickly as Everberg gets it in for Anderson. Anderson back up to the point, gets the pass back. Long shot. That was, it might have hit Everberg actually in front, never got through, as Everberg was looking for a rebound, providing that screen in front. Adam Larsson has it and swings it up to Kempe. That hopped over his stick. Oh boy, big collision. And taking the worst of that was Guillaume Leclerc, as he's back up on the ice, and Sweden moving up ice, led by Kempe. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has it, fires, scores! Sweet shot from the defenseman up top, 3-0 Sweden.
Ekman-Larsson, just a matter of time before he got on the board. And you see how he can pick a spot with the best of them. Prior to that, here's this hit from Adam Larsson. That is elbows up on Leclerc, not called. Play continues and works its way around to Ekman-Larsson. He delays just enough, and this is where the smart offensive mind of Ekman-Larsson go to work. He doesn't rush this shot. He waits for the screen to slide through the goaltender's eyes and out of his shot lane before going back against the grain, off the post and in. And then here's the conversation with Manon Bion about Adam Larsson's hit, which led Leclerc to a bloody lip and perhaps some dental work. But there's nothing they can do about that now. They can talk about that hit after the fact. So they, as you see, the referee Tobias Wehrli talking to Dave Anderson in front of the French bench. And I mean, that elbow is not tucked in. That's a shot to the head with an elbow. International rules, head contact, that should have been at the very least a penalty for Adam Larsson. Compounds the frustration for France in that not only was it not called, but then Sweden rolls around and Dave Anderson says, I disagree vehemently with that non-call. I think there's a loose translation. My French is not perfect. But then they go and score a goal on what should have been a France power play. And it does not look like they are going to retroactively decide anything. That was a miss by the referees.
And Stefan DaCosta, the captain as well, having a chat. There you go, back with center ice. They continue to talk it over. So Oliver Ekman-Larsson, beautiful goal. Drafted 6th overall by Arizona back in 2009. That was a good draft here. Tavares 1, Hedman 2, Duchesne 3, Evander Kane 4, and Braden Shen, and then Pyarvi. He was 10th that year to the Oilers. So Oliver Ekman-Larsson, another example of how good the blue line of Sweden is offensively. And you saw the hit from Ekman-Larsson, how physical they can be, and I think he got away with him there. Obviously, that could have been tossed from the game. So Sweden up 3-0, another shot, and this time Quimenier makes the stop with Pettersson parked right in front.
Sweden has to be aware right now, they're up 3-0, very comfortable on Ekman-Larsson's goal. But they know that if they are at all undisciplined, any kind of reach, pull, tug, hit, anything, they'll be getting the next penalty.
It's amazing. You think about all the great Swedes defensemen. You have Rasmus Dahlin coming up the pipeline. A guy in Ottawa, the nation's capital, Erik Karlsson.
And we have seen Nick Lidstrom floating around the hallways here, who quite literally, if he wanted to go play right now, he could. I don't care how long he's been retired, he still looks like he's in great shape. And he can step in there and manage 20 minutes and probably not make a mistake.
Get him a French passport, you think? Dave Anderson makes a call.
They're calling the consulate as we speak.
Victor Hedman's another good one, obviously battling in the NHL playoffs as Tampa Bay trying to go deep. Those Golden Knights, though, that story, I mean, every day it's just, you shake your head, but it's pretty awesome.
Marc-Andre Fleury, .951 save percentage through 2 rounds. That is incredible and also unlikely to continue.
Wow.
It's just not. I mean, nobody's had a save percentage that high through an entire playoff, so I don't know why we'd think that Marc-Andre Fleury could do it for 4 rounds either. But so far, what can you say? It has been a smashing success in Vegas.
Dave Anderson still hot from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
He's thinking, you know what? We're already in tough. We already need all the breaks we can get. The last thing we can have happen is get the short end of the couple of referee decisions, or lack of.
Ryan O'Reilly has just scored for Canada over in Herning, beating Sebastian Dom, who got the start in net, so Canada's up 4-0 over in Group B play.
And so it's matching scoreboards. Every time Canada scores, Sweden seems to respond, and I guess that puts Sweden on deck, due for a goal.
Setting up over there, that'll be a big game, and they've a little bit of a scramble now as they're still talking about it, and you know at some
trying to get after Ekman-Larsson, and they should. They have every right to have a conversation and try to get after him. Ekman-Larsson is one of those guys that every collision, every battle, he puts everything he has into it. He doesn't just hit you to kind of seal you into the boards. He tries to put you through the board every time. That one he got away. That's a forearm shiver to the chin and mouth of Guillaume Leclerc. And he is hearing it from the French bench right now. Manuel Villon wants to reach out and grab him.
The 4th overall pick of the Devils back in 2011, and then the trade for Taylor Hall. And Hall now in that Hart conversation this year, nominated, and rightfully so, had a fantastic year in New Jersey. Turnover behind the net, centering pass in front. Oliver Ekman-Larsson fires, nearly had another one. And it's fired directly into the Swedish bench. Another great opportunity as Sweden really controlling the pace, and I think France, I mean, at some point they got to let it go. I know they're frustrated.
You know what? Sure, but what do they have to lose by being involved, drag some emotion in the game? Playing a skill game of Sweden is not going to work. They're not going to win this game regardless at this point. But if they can rally together as a team, if they can use this as some sort of unifying influence, whether it's through this game and on to the next, that's not the worst thing in the world. Leclerc is back on the ice, and there is no fighting, nor should there be in international hockey. But if he gets a run at number 6, Leclerc should take it. And if he takes a penalty on that run, his bench should be okay with it.
All that being said, you know, you're always careful of suspensions in a long tournament like this, and that kind of stuff does carry over, but you know, there's that hockey code, and you, as a former player, you can speak to that. Good chance here from France as they drive in. Play goes into the corner. Nicholas Ritz leading the charge as Bray gets it into the corner behind the net. Back up top, Ekman-Larsson. Ekman-Larsson puts on the brakes, fires, that stop. Bray parked right in front. He couldn't get the rebound as Anderson Gets some help from Kempe. Turns it over though. As Perret, nice job as he picks that off. They continue to cycle behind the goal line. As a streaking Flurry was coming in, couldn't get there, and now hustling back is Manavion, and he gets there in time. Can't miss him. He's got the big a la Joe Thornton, Brent Burns beard for France. Flurry driving towards the net. Long shot, Manavion, let it go. Hit a skate of Lindholm, goes behind the net. Rek picks it up and back to Manavion. As Manavion fires it up ice. Good hustle from Lindholm to pick that off and move it up ice. Michael Backlund at Nyquist, and it hops over his stick as the 14s engage in the corner. Stefan DaCosta, Gustav Nyquist, Michael Backlund has it. Nice job from Stefan DaCosta, picks that off. With under 9 minutes to go here in the second period, and the game really, the ice tilted in Sweden's favor since opening puck drop. Sweden coming off though a tough game. I mean, they took all they could from the Czech Republic and winning that one 3-2. Much the same story. They came out red hot in that hockey game. The pace sort of slowed down a little bit, and the Czechs fought back, kept it close. Long shot from Gustafsson, didn't get through, and shipped back into Sweden's zone, and nearly a turnover. Teddy DaCosta, nice job. DaCosta spun it towards the net as Teddy DaCosta on the second line nearly created something. Texier, the youngster for France, picks it up. 18 years of age, just a young guy in his first men's world championship, as that comes right to Nilsson. He's going to cover up. And some tension in the air here at Royal Arena. Welcome back to Royal Arena. Copenhagen in Denmark, a beautiful city, 1.3 million people. Very clean city, more bikes than people. In these parts, they take their bike lanes very seriously. Right on the border of Sweden. Malmo about a 30-minute train ride away. Right off the draw, quick strike, rebound in front, two good whacks as Oliver Ekman-Larsson had lost his stick, and that allowed France a couple great strikes as Texier continued to battle, unable to keep it in, and fired back in by Manavion into the corner. And the lumber is still sitting there in the near circle. And that must be broken because he's not picking it up. And eventually brought up ice as Jacob Delarose swung across. Oh, what a shot as Johan Larsson, tons of room, and he fired it high and wide. Here comes Pettersson as he delivers the hit. Pretty good physical game here between both these sides, and since that hit from Adam Larsson, who has the puck right now, and then behind the play, that battle continued. It was Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and then some pushing and shoving, and now a mini fight breaking out, and surprise, surprise, Adam Larsson, you knew this was coming. Now Leclerc, who was roughed up by Larsson, he's into it.
That's with P.R.V. Leclerc coming back at Ritz. in defense of his partner, Ekman-Larsson, who Ritz threw down in the corner, had the original penalty on. Leclerc was the recipient of the Adam Larsson elbow to begin all this physical play 5 minutes ago. He was tied up with Payarvi. Here's the battle down low. Ritz has Ekman-Larsson pinned. Ekman-Larsson's holding his glove, so that's a massive dive by Ekman-Larsson, trying to draw a penalty, which he did successfully. And then Adam Larsson skates on over and wisely doesn't drop his gloves, doesn't throw any punches. He's not going to get kicked out of the game. He's not going to get suspended for the next one. But as he is saying, you can come after me for my hit. What you can't do is go after Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And Leclerc just wants a piece of somebody, anybody, in retribution for the elbow to the nose. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Peter Popovich don't seem too stressed out about anything.
Guillaume Leclerc played NCAA hockey for a few years in North America. First time representing France at the World Hockey Championship. Not a big guy, he's 5'8", about 180 pounds, 22 years of age.
I love the heated debate. The referees are figuring it out, but Stefan DaCosta and Michael Backlund were there at the penalty box. Just the two of them arguing with each other with no refs around them, having the debate about the merits of what's going on the ice in a somewhat civilized, passionate discussion. And I think for Rickard Grönborg, he doesn't want this to escalate. Sweden's better than when there's not these kind of skirmishes after the whistle. And so he's going to want his team just play, protect yourselves, stand up for each other, but don't let this continue the rest of the game.
So one more look.
So here's the initial hit. Now Ekman-Larsson's got Ritz's arm chicken wing. You tell me if Ekman-Larsson dives here, Brian. I'm putting you on the spot right here. Now he's pushing and shoving. That's okay, good battle. What happens here to Ekman-Larsson as they get out of the pile? They cut it off just in time. He gets knocked down or dives down while becoming untangled from Ritz, and then Adam Larsson sees Ekman-Larsson on the ground. He goes to the ice, and everyone else says hello.
We'll have to consult with Alexander Despatie back in Canada if that was diving. I know in this country, though, I can confirm handball. That's a big sport.
Hang on, get the notebook out. Okay, that's 91 and 23. Okay. Fight going on. He's got the paper and pen.
They like handball and rugby in this country. I don't think diving is as popular.
Caroline Wozniacki, #1 tennis player in the world, won a major, pretty popular.
So the hostility's picking up. Stretch pass up ahead for Nyquist out of his reach, and Backlund was engaged in the play as well. It's funny how some of these games, like, you have an expectation coming in of how it will play out, and then what you get is just totally different at the World Hockey Championship. It's kind of one of those things when you come to a tournament like this, you never know what you're going to get.
Felt like we had it for about 30 minutes. 3-0, Sweden in control, on the power play an awful lot, and then one elbow up high from Adam Larsson has changed the temperature of this one.
Pretty nice day outside today. I'd argue about 20 degrees Celsius, and the temperature heating up inside at Royal Arena as Ekfoil tried to drive in, knocked off his stick. Mika Zibanejad at the far wall by his bench, chips it in. Rickard Raquel will retreat and then go back into the zone. Janmark moves in on Kevin Ekfoil. There's John Klingberg, nifty little backhand to stretch it up ice, and they were hoping for that stretch pass up ahead to Janmark as he cruises in, doesn't get there in time. The speed of Manevion as he drives it. John Klingberg, little backhand as they continue to chip it and work it along that near corner. Rickard Raquel goes back into his own zone. Lively bounces in this arena as well. Something that I'm sure Nilsson has seen while watching on the bench as Hellberg started the first two games. Long shot kicked aside as Nilsson got to be sharp, but he steers that behind his own net. Just over 5 minutes to go here in the second period. Adrian Kempe, the LA Kings, streaking in, 21 years of age. And again, back into the Swedish zone. Stretch pass. Kempe's got it. Making moves, but it's knocked off his stick. And again, France, Clairot skating after it into Swedish zone. Again, fired all the way around the ice. As Everberg picks it up and whips it around. Janmark spinning along that far wall. Janmark dishes off. Backdoor pass. That's picked off. As Wickstrand was looking to get something going. Johan Larsson. Bouncing puck, and it does come out of the zone, so they got to whip it back to Gustafsson, and he brings it in again. Draw pass. Yellow Rose. Stefan DaCosta up to Flurry. Look out with speed. Flurry fires, and Nilsson got enough. He lost it, but he just got enough. The big frame, 6'6", got in the way of that shot from Damien Flurry. Sweden leading a chippy affair, 3-0. Damien Flurry, a pretty good chance there, Mike, for France. He was whacking his stick on the bench like it was the stick's fault, but it was Nilsson making a pretty good stop up top of the shoulder.
And you saw the speed, though, of Damien Flurry. Stride for stride with Ekman-Larsson, and Ekman-Larsson could not close. Flurry, in fact, was pulling away, testing Nilsson up high.
Gustav Nyquist will chip and chase over the blue line. As that was dropped off and Backlund fired, deflected. Pettersson's on it, swings it to the far wall. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has it. To the other Larsson. Slap pass to the near circle as he wanted Nyquist. Nyquist, Pettersson trying to dig it free. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Larsson fires, stopped, and in the pads as Humanier lost it for a second and dug out by Sweden as Humanier couldn't track it down. Nyquist, drop pass, Oliver Ekman-Larsson has it. Backlund fires, stop, rebound, and Pettersson was there, but this time Humanier able to cover up as Michael Backlund having a real nice game here for Sweden.
He's been around the puck, as has Damien Flurry. Here you see the stride. He has got a nice, long, powerful stride and explodes down, tries Nilsson up top, and Nilsson needed every bit of that 6'5" frame to shoulder that one away. 7 shots on net in the tournament. That's what you want to do. 2, 3, 4 shots per game if you're an offensive guy. Eventually, the law of averages and a good shooting percentage will get you the goals you need.
Top lineup for Sweden. Raquel, Janmark, Zibanejad. They control off the face-off. In front, Raquel fires. Oh, it's even dangerous in this tournament. He went high and missed that top right corner. Raquel led the Ducks in scoring this year. Continues to create some chemistry with his top line. Raquel gets that pass behind the goal line. Zibanejad on it. Swings it back up top. Nice cycle game here from Sweden. Puck goes behind the net, chasing after it. Wraparound pass as Janmark tried to get it into a dangerous area. Could not as Teddy DaCosta chips it down the ice. With 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Lindholm stretches it up. Janmark tried to chip it across. France changing behind the play as it's shot in by John Klingberg. He's going to go off. Raquel absorbs that bump. He's due for a change as well. As Gustafsson chips it back in. Jacob De La Rose out. As is Pajärvi. De La Rose whacking at it behind the net. Couldn't knock it down. It swung all the way across the ice. In a foot race is Wickstrand. Wickstrand lost it, but Nilsson's there. And again, a little bit of speed from Flurry and Douillet. Breaking in towards Anders Nilsson.
It's been an eventful night for Adam Larsson. It starts with a nice assist to get the game going, but then elbow up top in the second. So he's got a couple of assists. He's got missed call, penalty, rough. It's been a stat-stuffing kind of night for Adam Larsson.
So no call on that hit, Mike, but the IIHF, if they choose to, they can look at that hit after the game and see if maybe there will be some discipline. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. Off the draw, Flurry fires, and that's kicked aside. He can skate, he can shoot too, and a pretty good look at his shot there, but Nilsson up to the task. De La Rose skating as Flurry beats him to it and takes a bump behind the net. Turnover in the far circle, chipped in front. De La Rose there. As Rec picks it off, and kind of a weird play as it
casual by Ekman-Larsson
in front of his own net, but worked out okay for them. Stefan DaCosta leaves for Flurry. He'll chip it into the Swedish zone. Gustafsson back with 1:15 to go in the second frame. As Elias Anderson is hoping to steal that, couldn't. Stretch pass up, DaCosta sends that across for Perret. Perret working with Leclerc in the corner. Leclerc, he's been an agitator in this game, and rightfully so after he took a mittful in the mouth. Back behind the goal line, under a minute to go now. France, Leclerc again gets bumped from behind. Puck sitting there in the slot. And eventually it'll be waved down. Anytime player through the crease, they're going to whistle that down right away, and that's the call. Stefan DaCosta, maybe he doesn't like it, but IIHF rules, they'll call that.
As long as you go in there on your own. Now, if you're cross-checked in there or driven in there by a hit, then they'll let you go, but DaCosta got tangled up with Everberg in front of the net and falls right on top of Anders Nilsson. Not going to call a penalty. Doesn't have to be a penalty. It could just be a incidental crease violation, and they put it outside the blue line.
So Mike, through 18 games, 8 shutouts, and there's 2 more brewing tonight. I know all the goalies out there are going to hate me for saying it out loud.
That's okay. I've said it every game. I don't mind the goalies dislike it.
So yeah, but
I don't like them.
But there's been some blowout games offensively and shutouts the other way. So you take Russia, for example, they've been putting up the offense like crazy. 14 in their first 2 games and another win today. 6 goals only. They couldn't get to 7.
Well, you get games where shots are 35-12 and 35-15. You're going to get some shutouts.
You know, Pavel Datsyuk, though, at 39 years of age for Russia, he's been worth the price of admission, though, each and every time that top line's out for Russia. We've had fun watching him and that line in this group.
Well, that's the beauty. Even if the games are not that close on the scoreboard, you still get a chance to marvel at the supreme skill that a lot of these players have. And maybe against not quite as stiff a competition, they can show off a little bit more.
Canada up 5-0 on Denmark. They're through 40 minutes of play in Herning. So Canada in cruise control over in the other co-host city. That's about a 4-hour train ride from here. That shot handled with the seconds ticking down, and the horn sounds. So as Ekman-Larsson makes that final stop, but Sweden controlling. Intermission time to come on TSN and NHL Network.
The score after the second period, Team Sweden 3, Team France 0. Shots on goal in the second period, Team Sweden 8, France 7.
It's not about the play. It's the shaving gel that matters. Nivea Men Ultra Dye Technology. For an ultra close shave without irritating your skin. Nivea Men, the art of shave. Introducing the 2018 IIHF Hat. Players' statistics. future is affected by our behavior, our ambitions, and our choices. The world is changing, and we're becoming more aware we must make choices to protect the environment. We choose to make a difference in our daily behavior and life choices. Sustainable choices are intelligent choices that help us take care of our future. Rock Zero, intelligent balls.
It's nearly 10 p.m. local time here in Copenhagen at Royal Arena. Approaching 2 p.m. in Edmonton. Toronto nearly 4 o'clock. St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador, 5:30 p.m. We're glad you're watching our coverage here. It is day 4 of the IIHF World Hockey Championship. And Zibanejad driving this top line. Another rebound in front. Raquel nearly had another one. And in the opening 11 seconds, the top line for Sweden buzzing.
Trying to best what they did in the first period where they scored 24 seconds into the game. And attacking the net, Raquel is just finding the time and space out on the ice. And when you give him that, he's trouble.
Right, the game for Ekman-Larsson. He's got 2 assists in the hockey game. A hit that was questionable. As Sweden and Raquel, who opened up the scoring, has it, but he slings it back, and Larsson has to hustle back. Michael Backlund and Oliver Ekman-Larsson, your goal scorers. Turnover behind the net as Damien Flurry, who has been one bright spot offensively for France in this hockey game, but yet to beat Anders Nilsson, who gets his first start of the tournament. Boutique driving towards the net, and Nilsson will make the stop.
A little chatter after the whistle. You wonder if it's friendly out there, if it's more combative. Boutique get into the ear of Ekman-Larsson, and Anders Nilsson through 2 periods.
You know, Mike could love a game like this. Pierre-Edouard Bernard would be all over this game.
So would Antoine Roussel.
Yeah, those 2 guys, they would. We've seen them here many times, the World Hockey Championship. They would love a game like this. Michael Backlund to take the draw. Teddy DaCosta for France. Puck behind the net. And a turnover as Bouvet tried to sling it out front. Picked up by Sweden, as they're looking very strong to remain perfect in this year's World Hockey Championship. With 1 period to go. That's swung across to John Klingberg. Klingberg on net. That was knocked down in front, never got through as it hit Backlund, who has parked himself in front of the net. That's sort of been his office. Ella Ryan Smith for Team Canada for many years. Captain Canada, Backlund. And the fans wearing the Trey Kroner jerseys. A lot of yellow and blue in the building tonight. Holds about 13,000. Not a great crowd by the standards we've seen so far, but not bad. Pass up ahead, shot, and that missed the mark. Puck comes behind the net. As Larsson is back for it. Johan Larsson, one of the 3 Larssons out on the ice for Sweden in this hockey game. Jacob Delarose absorbs a hit, swings it around. Lindholm gets dumped in the corner, and then the puck fired, nearly hit him again. Wickstrand, nice job to spin away and avoid the check as Wickstrand moves it up ice.
The more physical France has played, the better they've been in this game. Since that hit from Ekman-Larsson, they've been more engaged in the physical confrontations, even if it's born out of frustration or anger or retribution. They've been in the game on a more even keel after the hits on Leclerc.
So for Dave Henderson, this game, it's not looking great to come back, but he's got a couple days off. Then Slovakia, Austria, Czechs, and Swiss. And out of those 4 for France, what are the must-wins?
Well, Austria, of course. If they win that, they'll make sure that they stay in the top division. But if you want to get greedy, and we always do, if they can get Slovakia next game, where they have 2 days off to prepare, and then get Austria, they could be in position to potentially get 4th spot and a berth in the quarterfinals. Now that's being aggressive.
It's okay to be greedy,
but you feel good about the big win over Belarus. So against Slovakia, against Austria, that would put you with 9 points. That probably gets you into the quarterfinals.
Early body of work, but Slovakia hasn't looked sharp. I mean, if France brings their best game, that's one of those games you never know.
No, it's if you get a goaltending performance, it's a great equalizer. Slovakia defends and plays physically. They don't score a lot, so it might be a low-scoring affair. If you're able to generate a little bit of something against Slovakia, you'll have a chance.
Ekman-Larsson, as Sweden controls off the face-off that shot, and Meunier makes the stop, and keep in mind when you talk about France and net minding, I think Florian Hardy's the guy, obviously, but this is the first time since 2010, no Cristobal Huet, who's usually the #1 goalie, won a Stanley Cup with the Blackhawks back in 2010. For the first time in a while, he's not here for France.
And that would be a nice comfort zone, wouldn't it? To know that you have an NHL all-star caliber. I played with Cristobal Huet in Montreal. He was an all-star goalie that year. And he's kept France in a lot of games they probably don't deserve to be in.
Raquel, long shot, missed the mark by a few feet. Raquel, though, skating back in. Little backhand pass. As Oliver Ekman-Larsson cruising, fires, oh, he almost had it. Short side, and Couillemier lost where the puck was. Ekman-Larsson nearly had another one. Raquel, bouncing puck at the blue line, and look out as Damien Flurry trying to spin. DaCosta in, fires, and a glove save from Nilsson as Stepan DaCosta had a pretty good look and a jump, but a nice glove stop, and back the other way is Raquel. He's taken down, penalty to come. As the speed of Raquel draws the penalty, and Sweden back to the power play.
Most importantly, he was able to regather himself before he crashed to the boards full speed as Shakashvili goes to the box for France. And every penalty for a French player will immediately be responded by what happened about the elbow to Ekman-Larsson, but it's a trip. He gets beat wide, sticks a stick into the shins of Raquel, knocks him down. Here's that previous release by Ekman-Larsson. The flex on his stick just flips it at the net with great velocity. Stepan DaCosta going up top, and Anders Nilsson needed every inch of that re-stitched glove to get a piece of that one. DaCosta, who was so good against Belarus. Quiet tonight, of course, not nearly as much possession or open ice, but when you give him either one, he's got a lot of skill.
All right, I'm watching out for number 40. Elias Pettersson lit up the SHL, and he's got the puck on his stick. We'll see if he can do something from the offense in the circle as he swings it back up top. Lindholm has it. He's out there with Gustafsson up top of the blue line. Gustafsson has it. Pettersson lurking over. Long shot. Knocked down Menavillon. He had it in his body or jersey, and he finds it. Drives it behind the net. Gets picked up. At the far wall. Nyquist also out there. That shot from Pettersson is high. That deflects well over everything, and some fan has a puck. Looks like they're all right, so souvenir.
Battles in front. Michael Backlund has spent the whole game there. Menavillon took that initial wrister from Hampus Lindholm up into his chest area. Tried to get it clear, but he was playing defense hunched over, trying to gather himself afterwards.
Where'd you score your goals from?
Close, because I couldn't shoot. So I had to get in and around the net, tips and deflections, and off the rush. Rarely outside of 30 feet.
Right off the draw, controlled. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has it, plays pass. Back on his stick. Swung across, and wow, that's deflected. And again, no netting there. And into the crowd with the Trey Kroner jerseys.
You know one thing when you watch the best players in the world, the Ekman-Larssons, the Klingbergs, watch how hard they pass the puck to each other when it's a clean pass. They absolutely zip it at each other. Make sure it gets there quick and flat.
Speaking of zipping, Perret streaking in, but Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets back there in time. John Klingberg moves it up with 46 seconds to go in this power play. Raquel chips and chases, and away he goes into the corner. He'll sling it around the net. Kept in by Mika Zibanejad. Zibanejad starts the play. Klingberg has it. Sent across, back to Klingberg. Far circle, shot, didn't get through. Zibanejad bouncing puck, and he'll bring it behind the net. As Sweden changing behind the play. Klingberg wanting that backdoor pass. That was a stick shattering, hence the quick changeup. Klingberg all in his skates and out of the zone, so they'll have to do it one more time. The drop pass, shot in tight, rebounded. Thomas Thierry almost jammed it into his own net, but Meunier able to find it, covered up for a face-off with 6 seconds to go in the power play. As Shakashvili is ready to jump out.
I think the numbers have proven over the last several years that it is almost always better to have 4 forwards and 1 defense on the power play. It generates more shots, scoring chances, and goals. Somewhat more risky, but not really that much. But when you have talent like Klingberg and Ekman-Larsson, you kind of have to have them on the first unit together. So Sweden going against the conventional wisdom, but they also have a couple of unique players put out there together who play like forwards if they have to.
De La Rose comes in to take that face-off. Puck was just sort of sitting there in the circle as the final second ticks down, and nice job from France as they kill it off. Manavion off the boards in the near wall as he's on the move. Stretched up ahead. It's Ekman-Larsson puts on the brakes down to Pajärvi. Pajärvi in front, chipped, and that shot was whistled wide from De La Rose. Behind the net is this line getting some ice time here in the third period. Gustafsson in, fires, and right on the money as Gustafsson was coming in. Kind of a sneaky shot from number 56. Sweden leading 3-0.
Welcome to the School of Fan of the Game.
Mike, as a player, did you ever actually notice when the wave was going on in the building? Did you notice? Did you care?
It was very rare that when I was on the ice or on the bench, I knew what was going on in the stands. How loud people say, that game was so loud, you must have felt it. I'm like, you kind of feel an energy in the building, but you don't notice the names or the chants or the songs or the wave. You just focus on what's happening in front of you on the ice.
Hang on a sec, though. You told me you played in Europe and you had a Johnson chant after, like, right? Tell the story.
And the only reason I knew to stand up and recognize the Johnson chant is because one of my teammates told me on the bench, hey, they're singing a song for you. You scored your first goal here when I was playing in Färjestad in Sweden, and I had to stand up and recognize them. But it was not because I noticed what was going on. It was somebody told me.
Gutig fires it in the corner for France. With just over 13 minutes to go in this third period. Game dominated by Sweden. As it's chipped up and the Swedes move it up ice. Everberg right on net, and with Kempe streaking in, Ronan Cuminier decides to cover up.
Adrian Kempe is an interesting story in that he is drafted and being developed to be a top 6 forward, a top 6 centerman. He had the opportunity to do that this year in LA, in large part because Jeff Carter had an injury where he cut his calf open by a skate. So he got to play with skilled players in offensive situations. That's where LA wants him to get to. His role on this team, Sweden, right now, he's a 4th line center. He's playing with Everberg and Anderson. Probably not maximizing his game that he wants to play or that any team wants him to play.
John Klingberg tried to go short side. He was cutting in. Pettersson has it. Set out of the net. Pettersson takes it behind the net. Swung back up to John Klingberg at the 13-minute mark here in this third period. Klingberg steps in the slot, fires, and a nice save. Cuminier slow to get up though, but he's all right.
There's that blue line to pass right along the blue line, the full width.
Klingberg, a step. Klingberg tried to go to the forehand in his skates and intercepted, broke it up. Quick shot, and that did not miss by much as Gustav Nyquist was following up with a play, and he whistled it wide. Michael Backlund. Quick strike gets it back to him. That shot, and Cuminier made the stop. Well, that deflected out of play, but play continues. As they battle on the far boards, Gustav Nyquist, a Detroit 4th round pick back in 2008. 40 points in 82 games this season. Raquel creating, tries to tuck it in. Bouncing puck still sitting there in front. And play goes behind the goal line and onto the near wall. Wickstrand dug it loose. That shot from Raquel whistled wide. Zibanejad back up top. Wickstrand, oh, high shot, and that was up top. Kumanier maybe got a little piece of that. It goes behind the net, and play carries continued into the far corner. Again, bouncing puck. Zibanejad in. That shot whistled wide right through the crease as Mika Zibanejad was coming through. And how many chances did Nyquist have on that shift? Raquel, drag move, shot, drives towards the net, and the puck was actually still loose. And wow, look at the late pushing. Janmark, he took a bit of a right hand. That was Texier in the mix.
Referee's arm was up. I think was going to be on Janmark for digging at the goalie. But the referee had called that penalty, was shielded off. The puck was still loose. Kumanier had not yet smothered it. There's the drag and pull, and Rowe tries to kick it back into Kumanier. Does he have that puck? No, it's not there, and Janmark's allowed to get it. He takes a little left shot, and he's not going to sit and let that go unresponded. Here's that last chance by John Klingberg. Try to get it through Kumanier. Squeeze it under the arm, but out the back door. Head up. A lot of guys shoot there now. Intentionally under the arm. That was never a place that you shot on purpose. Back when I was playing, you'd put it there occasionally by accident, but you didn't aim there. Guys aim there now, tuck it under the arms. Klingberg is very much a new age player. Tries to do that. Well, it looks like just Janmark in the box. Probably should be 4 for Janmark, the initial slash right here. And then you can give matching minors to Texier for that and Janmark for that. So 4 for Janmark, 2 for Texier would seem to make the most sense out of that skirmish. The French penalty box door is open, but there is nobody in it. There you see, the referee, if the goalie doesn't have the puck, you're allowed to go get it. And Raquel could be just sent over there to the box to serve the first 2 minutes of the coincidental minor, so that there's someone to step out of the box. They're still waiting on one of the French players.
Texier is an interesting story too, Mike. We've talked about, I know he caught your eye in the opening game. Second round pick of Columbus in 2017. He was the captain on the U18 team that won that D1 division tournament to get France up to the U18s for the very first time this year in Chelyabinsk and Magnitogorsk. Unfortunately, those players aged out, so they weren't back to compete in it. They got relegated again, but great to see him now competing here at this World Championship.
He's a good little player. Fast, strong on his skates. I like what I've seen out of him, and yes, they've sorted it out. He is in the box. I imagine coincidental minors, Janmark and Texier. Extra 2 for Janmark being served by Raquel. Here we go, sorted out. Let's drop the puck. If I can explain it that quickly.
That's good work, man. We're going to get you signed up for some IIHF work as well down there.
I didn't even have a notebook to jot it all down in.
You'll call the games, you'll officiate because you're not busy enough calling the back-to-back 3-day that we did.
Nope.
2 today.
Opportunity here. Listen, France gets a goal. Stranger things have happened. Still half a period remaining.
So a big face-off now to the right of Anders Nilsson. Stefan DaCosta there to take it, and we've seen this many times in this tournament. The officials not happy with the lineup, with the setup for these draws, and players frustrated.
Players are impatient. Just want to drop the puck and go.
So they try one more time. Puck goes behind the goal line. Ekman-Larsson's on it, swings at it, and eventually cleared all the way down the ice, right to Kumanier. She'll leave it for Hekfoyle. Kevin Hekfoyle starts to play up ice for the speedy Flurry. And then brought in over the blue line is Rek. Spins away, back up to Flurry, works it down low. Stefan DaCosta working in that near circle. Minute 28 to go in the power play.
DaCosta wants to get over to his strong side. He wants to be on the right side.
DaCosta swings, gets it up to Ekman-Larsson, able to keep it in briefly and then fired down the ice by Ekman-Larsson right on the net, and Sweden changing.
DaCosta just smashed his stick on the bench in frustration with that power play. Still smashing it, you can hear it. He was losing it on the bench.
Over in Herning, Denmark has scored. Canada still leading 6-1, but the host nation getting on the board in their game tonight. As Gutig, the big slapper all the way around the boards. As Flurry battling, and he loses the battle. Shot all the way down the ice. Sweden allowing 2 power play goals on 8 opportunities coming into this hockey game. And you talk special teams, Finland, it's not even close. They lead the tournament 4 short-handed goals. Mind you, a few of them coming against the game against Korea.
No matter who they're against, they still count.
You got to put the puck in the back of the net at every level.
That's just it. And goalies are goalies, and they're all good.
So Claro and now Teddy DaCosta working up top. Ekman sends it across, shot, kick stop. And eventually Sweden gets it out of the zone one more time as Elias Andersson. Killing penalties here for Sweden. Watching things closely. Ekman maneuvering, tried to find his man on the move. That's broken up as he couldn't get it there in time to Anthony Gutig. And now we have a stoppage. Just over 9 minutes to go in this third period. So big picture assessment. What did you make of Sweden here, and what did you make of France?
Sweden did what they had to do. Sweden's done what we expect them to do. It has not been a great performance. Kind of flat after they got out to the early lead. The chippiness of the game has taken away from Sweden's flow. But it looks like they'll be able to get the win that they want and remain undefeated. France, perhaps there's something they can draw on this when they go to play against the other teams, that you have to be physically engaged and emotional and passionate and play fearless of your opponent if you want to give yourself the best chance of winning. They've been better in the last half of this game after Leclerc got hit up high.
And Leclerc let that long shot go, had another opportunity, but it's broken up, and is Thierry back to play it?
So if I'm Dave Henderson, that's my message. See how we played the last 30 minutes of this game, boys? That's how we play every game. We do that, we'll have our chances, because not every team defends as well as Sweden. So the same kind of effort will give you more scoring chances than you got against Sweden.
Alexander Texier starts to play up ice. Big collision there as Wickstrat, he took a bump, turnover, shot, and Nilsson directs that into the near wall. Fired back in by France as Gustafsson has the puck on his stick up to Ekman-Larsson. Swings it across for Päijärvi. Angus Päijärvi will chip and chase. Päijärvi driving behind the net. Gustav Nyquist there, trying to help him out, as is Michael Backlund. Here's that speed of Flurry. You could just tell right away who's got the puck on his stick when he starts weaving out of his zone. Damien Flurry, he could fly. Flurry continues to battle, trying to get that puck loose. Out there with Stefan DaCosta. The captain starts it up ice. Pettersson waits, trying to sling that pass across high off the glass in the far corner. Stays in play as play continues. Backlund, the back pass. As Nyquist chips it back to Michael Backlund. He weaves up near the blue line. Little backhand dish into the near corner. Over 7 minutes to go as time continues to tick down on this third period. Towards the front of the net. Right through the crease. Back up to Backlund. Backlund has it chipped off his stick. Pettersson can't keep it in. And France and DaCosta tried to jump around his man Adam Larsson. Couldn't get there in time, and it's shot into neutral ice territory one more time as Gustav Nyquist needs to change up, so he'll backhand it in deep, and now he hustles off for a change. Gutig starts the play. He swings it up the far wall. Across to Chekshvili. Chekshvili swings it in. Lindholm racing over for Sweden. And again, the puck into the neutral ice area, and Sweden, I think, pretty content right now to just
Sure.
Keep doing what they're doing.
Chip it out, chip it in, playing the offensive zone, grind out the clock.
Long shot there from distance, not tipped. It's a good style to play when you're up. Not the easiest style to call as a broadcaster up here. It's just sort of that chippy play. A lot of ice. Tchekashvili takes a bump from behind. Ray. Lindholm says, not on my watch. Picks that off.
Gudig and Anderson swinging, slashing down below the play.
Bad blood developing here. Obviously, they
A lot of guys on the ice right now for White. That is 6 players for France, too many men.
make the game more interesting. 6-on-5 as Sweden leads 3-0.
Team France, bench minor penalty for too many men on the ice.
Welcome back to Copenhagen, and some facts on the city for you, all right? There's 15 Michelin star restaurants here, amazing. You also have 2 of the oldest amusement parks in the world.
Nice.
Very green city.
When are we going to the amusement parks?
Will we get a day off? We gotta wait for a day off. I'm going to Herning tomorrow. Ryan Rashad will come over and call some games in this group.
4 days, all you can take of me, huh?
Well, you
Smart
know what?
man. You are a smart
You
man.
know what? We have to spread you around. Your talent, Mike Johnson, we got to spread you around and let Ryan Rashad, he'll take over and do a great job with you in calling some of the games here. I'll head to Herning on the train tomorrow and call some of the coverage for Team Canada, reporting and ringside over the board, so look forward to that. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has it for Sweden. He will dish it down low. Just over 5 minutes to go in the third period. Centering pass broken up and back into neutral ice territory. John Klingberg is back for it. So if you're Rickard Gronberg, not like they need a lot, but a wish list for Sweden. You could make an addition or 2, a tweak to try defend your gold medal.
Couple forwards. I know they're never wishing that their Swedish players lose in the playoffs, but if Nashville loses tonight to Winnipeg is knocked out, and you can get Forsberg and Arvidsson, that's it.
Michael Backlund setting up on this power play. 40 seconds to go. A too many men call. And Sweden goes to work. Klingberg. Ekman-Larsson. Klingberg sends it across. Shot, scores! There's that release. Pettersson. Woo! He can whip it. Power play goal. 4-0 Sweden.
Ah, it's all right to smile, young man. You should feel good about yourself. In his first World Championships, he's already picked up an assist on the power play, and you can see what he can do when he gets the puck in the offensive zone. He is on either side. Takes his, watch the dragon pull. Letting Thierry slide by, much like Ekman-Larsson did. Left-handed shot, let the shot blocker slide by, and then go back across against the grain. Head up, shot fake from Klingberg. And Imenier is just beat clean from a very good wrister. Elias Pettersson, the offensive star, grab that puck, because guys always know.
Unbelievable. 10 goals, 19 points in 13 games as he was a star in the SHL. That's the Swedish league. Regular season dominated, then won the championship with Bekwa. Pajärvi picks it up, and he'll chip it along the boards. Johan Larsson in. He fires. Nice stop there as one of the 3 Larssons looking to get in on the action. Adams got a couple assists.
Oliver's got a
Larsson,
goal.
yeah. So Johans, the Larsson that's still trying to convert out here, and he's got the puck. It bounced over his stick. Behind the net, him and Päivärinta. Oh, Teddy DaCosta takes a big bump as Jacob Delarose said hello to him along the wall. Wickstrand, he lost it in his skates. Stefan DaCosta, centering pass, bouncing puck that went off Gustafsson, but alertly Anders Nilsson was there. He'll cover up as he continues to work on his shutout with 3 minutes, 18 seconds to go.
Little camera in front here. You get one more look at Elias Pettersson. Take a close look, Vancouver Canuck fans, coming to a rink near you very soon, as he'll grow into his body and game, but the skills are there for the NHL. If you've got a coach in Travis Green who's willing to let him play, and without the Sedins there will be time and opportunity available in the special team situations he needs to be successful. He'll be there probably next year.
5th overall pick last year. And here's a turnover and a steal in Sweden. Possible 2-on-1 pass across, shot, and that's too high as Kempe fired it over the net. Gets another chance. Kempe receives that pass. Back up to the point. Swung across for Adam Larsson as he drops it off and goes to the near circle. Then he got knocked down. But he's taking a high stick, and Larsson slow to get up. And you know they're still unhappy with his high hit earlier in the game. As Larsson and again looks to lay the hit on the wreck. He's not very happy right now. And then taken down Oliver Ekman-Larsson was coming over the blue line. I think the officials are just hoping this game ends quietly. And
well, if you're Adam Larsson, I didn't see what happened in the middle of the ice there, but if you play with an edge and finish everything in sight as hard as you can, then guys will do the same to you. And so you'll catch a stray slash interference. Doesn't make it right. It should be penalties when they're infractions, but it's your reality. If you want to play that way, you bring some of that back around you.
Under the 2-minute mark now, this third period. A 4-0 game for Sweden. We've seen their high-end skill at times. We've seen some pushback from France at times. Nyquist. Oh, he just sidestepped a hit there as he was trying to pull the trigger on the forehand, bringing it into the slot. Couldn't get the shot off. As John Klingberg chips it in. Nyquist then just wrestled down. That's more Calgary Stampede than international hockey. As Sweden looking to put the finishing touches. And of course the fan base that has made the trip here. Only about 30 minutes by train or car from Sweden, from the border. And as the Öresund Bridge connects these two countries. Nice drive here from Delarose. He brings it behind the net. Out there with Päivärinta, and Johan Larsson's stick goes flying as the French defender lost it, but it's brought up ice. And
oh, there's a high stick by Leclerc right into Klingberg, and he got it back.
He has been in all the dirty spots, and you just knew that something was going to erupt eventually in Leclerc. He's a small guy, but
he came in hard though with a high stick, intentionally up into the face of Klingberg. I don't blame Klingberg for this reaction. Leclerc's feeling he's getting his just due after what happened to him earlier with Adam Larsson. It's a one-on-one. Watch this stick right here. Right into the throat of John Klingberg. Klingberg comes back with one of his own. At this point, the referees be well served to just get guys out of this game. 51 seconds left. Ricard Gronberg looking down to the French bench, back and forth little discussion. There's a little slash. Oh, it was a stray high stick from Damien Flurry. Now, he's not a dirty player. That was accidental. Should have been called. 100% should have been called, but it was accidental. Just a bad coincidence that it was Adam Larsson who took it. But that Leclerc cross-check, not an accident. He was coming down, trying to take a run at somebody. And 2 or 5 or whatever he gets at this point doesn't really matter. Sweden likely be on the power play the rest of the game.
And again, not to sound like a broken record like the DJ in this building the last few games, but the IIHF. I mean, this kind of stuff can carry over into other games in this tournament.
Yeah.
So for Sweden, they got a couple days off after this game, so maybe some ice packs, a spa day perhaps, get some rest.
Sounds pretty good.
Slovakia on Thursday. They'll take on Austria Friday, then Saturday off, Sunday the Czechs, and Tuesday they'll wrap up group play with Switzerland. So that's France's schedule for Sweden, Austria, Slovakia, Swiss, and Russia.
Also escalating towards the final clash with Russia, likely for first place. And after all that, looks like Raquel gets 2, and
so some repairs too as Klingberg took that up high.
well, he's not gonna have to put his helmet back on if he's got to go to the penalty box, because unless France scores 4 goals in the next 50 seconds, he's not getting back on the ice in this game.
If France scores 4 goals in the next 50 seconds, I will take you to all 15 Michelin restaurants in this city, and I will buy.
Now, I know we're not supposed to root for teams.
So, I will take you to every one.
I am, all of a sudden.
And I love my red wine, man, and you open up the book and you pick whatever you want. Away we go.
You better be careful.
So,
Writing checks that you cannot cash.
It's not the Czechs, it's the French. All right, 51 seconds.
Here we go. 4 shorties. Come on
Wait
now.
a second. Turnover and look out. Claro is in. Claro fires and Nilsson saves the Swedes and my pocketbook with a big stop. Back the other way in a shattered stick, and that'll be blown down. Penalty to come in front. The backhand that'll be touched up, so another penalty to call. This is the yard sale of a game here the last few minutes.
Florent Douai with a massive slash on Pettersson. Broke his own stick in half. And there's the slash. Makes the call. Here's the fumble by Hampus Lindholm. Just mishandles it, pops up on him, loses an edge, and it's Claro off to the races. Tries to go top glove. That glove's regulation. Makes another save for Anders Nilsson. You don't want to give up a shorty here with 28 seconds left, protecting a shutout. Hampus Lindholm's getting it all the way down, tapped Nilsson on the pad, saying, my bad. Could not have done that. Play it safer than that. 5-on-3, they have kind of their full unit out here because they're practicing. They don't get a lot of 5-on-3 practice in game situations, so perhaps it comes up later in the tournament when they need it. Sweden going with their #1 unit, even though the game's out of hand, because they need the work.
So Zibanejad out there, Nyquist, Janmark. Controlled by Sweden, 23 seconds to go. As Oliver Ekman-Larsson try to get that down to the circle, picked up across, Nyquist waiting in front. Oh, backdoor pass, and what a stop. Nyquist, the setup man, but Humanier, his best save of the game, another chance, and he shuts it down. Raquel, the chances, glove stop. What a flurry of chances, and I know it's a 4-0 loss, but Ronan Humanier, what a nice way to finish the hockey game. 3 textbook stops, world class. But at the other end, it is Anders Nilsson with the shutouts. And make no mistake, Hellberg's been good. Nilsson wants to prove his worth. A nice win for Sweden. Good night from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best player of each team will be awarded with the official watch from Tissot, official timekeeper of the 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The prizes will be presented by Nico Grünfeld, Mayor of Culture and Leisure in Copenhagen. The best player from Team France number 4, Antonin Manavion. And the best player from Team Sweden, number 31, Nilsson. Ladies and gentlemen, please
Adam, it seemed as though the game got physical once you made that big hit. Talk to me about it.
I thought it was a clean hit. I just stepped up there in the middle, and I thought it was a clean hit, but I haven't seen the replay yet, so I don't know.
France responded. Did the physical play become a little bit of a distraction for your team?
I would say more like a spark for our team. I thought we didn't start good enough. We did a lot of mistakes, and I thought we stepped it up. We played good in the offensive zone after that, and kind of where we created all our chances. And we started out slow with too many mistakes, and kind of kept doing that throughout the game. So we know we have to be better, but the physical part, I thought we responded good.
So far, has the team played its best hockey yet, or do you guys still have another level?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we do have one or two more levels. Obviously, yesterday was a tough competitive game, but I think as we move forward, our power play, our PK, everything's going to get better.
Thank you very much. Damien, that game took a physical turn. Did you guys prefer playing that way, or was it just a response to the hit?
Oh yeah, that was a response, and we show some character tonight, and yeah, it's good. I mean, if we lose, it's better to lose like that than just to give up and just do nothing. So.
Are you guys happy that you were able to compete so well with one of the top teams in the tournament?
Yeah, sure. We're sad because we lost, but I mean, I'm pretty proud of the team, the way we react, and because we had a pretty tough start, like a goal first shift. So yeah, that was tough, but I think we make it hard for them, so it's good.
And what will you build off of with this game?
Yeah, some confidence, and we just have to play like that if we want to beat Austria, Slovakia, and all the rest of the team.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.